Hi, everyone, and welcome to our new Student and Family Programs webinar. Good morning, parents, family members, and supporters, and welcome to CSULB Fireside Chats. We are so happy to have you join our community. My name is Cameron McInerney, and I am a Student Service Specialist working for the Department of New Student and Family Programs, and I'm also actually currently a master's student here at Long Beach State. I'm so excited to have everyone join us today, and welcome. So we're going to just wait a few moments, folks, while we wait for others to join. For now, sit back, relax, grab a snack, and get comfy as we prepare for today's topic. Thank you, everyone, for joining. So today's topic, we're going to be covering the Dream Success Center. We're going to be talking about the services and resources that they provide. And like I said, we're just going to wait for a couple more people to join us. So yeah, welcome in, folks. Welcome. Okay.
Introducing the first ever AT4 lineup.
Sorry, everybody, that was an ad, but we can go ahead and get started now. Okay. Welcome in, everybody. Like I said, my name is Cameron, and we're going to be doing our fireside chat today with the Dream Success Center. Okay. So let's get right on into it. So today we're going to be discussing the services and resources provided by the Dream Success Center with Dr. Norma Salcido. And actually, Jordy's not going to be joining us today, so we're just going to be presenting with Dr. Norma. So moving over to our Zoom foundations, all of our sessions are being recorded and will be placed in the Beach Family Portal within a week as we make it ADA accessible. And to protect your privacy, we are updating your profile name to just be your first name, and all of your cameras will remain off as well. We ask that you please hold all of your questions until the end of the brief FAQ presentation, in case any of your questions are going to be covered in Norma's presentation, and questions will be answered in the order that they are received. Now, if you have any problems with your audio, we will also have live transcripts available. So please run your mouse towards the bottom of your screen, and the toolbar should pop up with various features and buttons. To turn on a live transcript, simply click on that button that says Live Transcripts. Now, you may be wondering how you'll be able to ask questions. Staying on that same toolbar, you'll see other features like raise hand, chat, and Q&A. The chat has been disabled, so please ask all of your questions in that Q&A button. When you click on that button, a box should pop up asking you to submit your question. The great thing about asking a question here is that you are able to send your questions in anonymously, as well as by clicking on that button in the corner that asks if you want to send the question in anonymously or not. So let's just get comfortable using that function. Let's practice using it. So please type hello or some welcome message in the Q&A function, just so that I know you guys are all comfortable asking questions. Cool. All right, thank you guys for practicing with that. Thank you. Wonderful. Now, for everyone viewing us out in the Facebook world, we see you out there and are thankful that you are able to join us as well. You will ask your questions in the comment section, and someone from our team will relay it over to us. And as a final reminder before we begin our presentation, please remember that we are bound by federal FERPA laws, so we cannot give detailed answers concerning your students, but we can definitely give you a more generalized answer. And for more information, please review the FERPA topic in the Beach Family Portal. So, without further ado, let's introduce today's speakers. Today, we have the opportunity to hear from Dr. Salcido from the Dream Success Center. And with that, Dr. Norma Salcido, the floor is yours.
Hi, welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Norma Salcedo. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm the director of the Dream Success Center. In my role, I get to support the undocumented student population here on campus, as well as anyone who's impacted by immigration policy. I've been here for about 3 years, but I've been working in higher education for over 10 years. I am actually a Long Beach native, so it's really nice to be back in Long Beach and supporting our potential incoming students that'll be hopefully applying and coming to Cal State Long Beach. So today I'll be telling you a little bit about what we do. Cameron, if you can. Awesome. So that's me. So our mission is to support the members of the beach community that are impacted by immigration policy. So this may mean that it could be undocumented students, it could be students with undocumented parents, or students with undocumented siblings or family members or friends, Our mission is to support pretty much anyone who's impacted by immigration policy or interested in supporting the immigrant community. And we do this in various ways. We try to support our students through programming, resources, and services that support the holistic experience of our students. So we understand that, you know, going to class is only one part of their education, a big part of their educational experience, but there's other aspects that they need support as well. So we ensure that they get those support systems to ensure that they graduate, because that's what we want to do here. We want to make sure that we keep them and we graduate them. Yeah. So like I mentioned, we offer general counseling in the sense that we provide any type of support that the students may need or refer them out. So there might be students who need, mental health support. So we have a counselor and our counseling and psychological services that is directly linked to us. So they support our students either one-on-one or in group sessions. Sometimes students come to us for advice on how to get housing in the community of Long Beach. So we link them up with different resources so that they're able to find housing, or if they need, sometimes students need food, we link them up with resources here on campus. We have a grocery program here on campus that supports students in different ways. We have a food pantry on campus that supports students in different ways. So we're sort of the center that links them to different resources on campus and some local resources that we're familiar with. We also have a partnership with our friends at Enrollment Services, and that's sort of the area that focuses on the admissions process, financial aid, pretty much anything that has to do with the enrollment process of the student. So we work closely with financial aid, we work closely with admissions to support students with their California Dream Act application or FAFSA application, depending on the student, and the residency paperwork that a student who may be applying for the AB 540 process. Another great thing that we offer is free immigration legal services that is available to the students, staff, faculty, and immediate family members, including parents, siblings, if they partner, if they're married, and children if they have any, and also for recent alumni who have graduated in the last 2 years. So as long as your student is enrolled here at Cal State Long Beach, if you yourself are a Cal State Long Beach student, you can get these services, or if you're a family member of the student that is coming and is enrolled in our center. And I'll share a little bit more about the specifics in a little bit. And with that, we also offer DACA fee assistance for those students who do come with us with DACA. We do pay for the $495 fee, and it's a partnership that we have with the president of the university, who has established her support for this community by financially contributing to their DACA fee assistance. So I'm really proud of that initiative. We understand that there's a diverse number of students that come into our doors, whether they have DACA or they don't, or they have a work permit, whether it be through temporary protective status or DACA or other visa programs. We understand that there's diverse needs, and students are seeking paid professional development opportunities. For that reason, we work with campus across the university. We work with community organizations to identify paid professional development opportunities for students that are available regardless of their immigration status. So while we still see a need for that, we're excited to know that there are opportunities brewing, and there's more and more each year. So we help students identify those opportunities and assist them in seeking them out. We also have a butterfly peer mentoring program that is available to our incoming students, and I'll also share a little bit about that in the next coming slides. And we also have a space here on campus, which is a lot of people don't know. We have our own center here that has a computer lab, a lounge, and then different offices for our legal providers and myself and our coordinator, Jordy, who Cameron announced earlier, who couldn't join us today. And this is actually, I wanted to spend some time sharing a little bit about this because it was a very important initiative for us. We invited a Cal State Long Beach alumni who sort of led the way for a lot of the resources that we have today, with a group of peers who came together to formulate the first undocumented student club here on campus, also known as FUEL. And his name is Julio Salgado. He is a Long Beach native, a well-known artist. So we called him and asked him to create a mural for our space to make it feel welcoming to the students and their families that were coming through the door, that represented the diaspora of the immigrant experience here at Cal State Long Beach. And this is a picture of the mural that we have now at our center. So if you ever on campus, or you ever are hanging out around here, we highly invite you to come to our space and see this. It's a huge mural. That's the first thing you see when you come into our center. So we highly encourage you to come and check it out. It's definitely one of a kind, and we're very proud of this collaboration, and proud of the fact that we have a visual that students can see as something that can represent them in this space. So we're excited about that. Nice. So financial aid, I'm sure a lot of you have questions about financial aid opportunities that are available. And a lot of people may assume that because students don't have an immigration status, that they may not qualify for financial aid. And that is not necessarily true. While they don't qualify for FAFSA, because in order to apply for FAFSA, the student itself needs to have a social security number in order to apply. If the student does not have a social security number, they have the opportunity to apply for what we call the California Dream Act. It's a very similar application to the FAFSA. It does not require them to submit a social security number. They provide all the similar information that is required from the FAFSA, like tax information and information about assets. But outside of that, the student gets the opportunity to apply and receive state aid. While they don't qualify for any federal funding, they do qualify for state financial aid that is intended to pay for their tuition. Unfortunately, it does not provide enough funding to pay for housing or external things like food or books. It might not be enough for all that, but its purpose is to pay for tuition. So at least they'll have that covered in that sense. So I just want to debunk that assumption that there's nothing out there for undocumented students, because that's not true. We have the opportunity of the California Dream Act that students need to apply. What's very important is that students need to apply by the time that the application is open. It opens October 1st, so it just opened, and it closes March 2nd. In order to be eligible for this aid, there's a number of factors, like how much money the student makes, how much money the parents make. But outside of that, what's really, really important is that they submit the application during the time that is open. If they turn in an application after March 2nd, chances are that they won't be eligible for any financial aid. So we highly encourage students to submit an application. They don't need to know where they're going for school. They can always change the name of the school later where they're going, because they have to select which schools they're applying to. But the important thing is they just have it in file, just submit the form. So I highly, highly encourage, if there's any students here or family members, encourage your child to submit the application as soon as possible. You're probably asking like, oh, well, we don't have our tax information yet. So you don't have to worry about that, because the tax information for the next years that are required are 2021 taxes. So we call this a prior year. So all you will need is your 2021 taxes, which you already have. So the information will be asked there, and you'll clearly say the year of the taxes, so you don't have to worry about that. So we highly encourage the student that is applying to apply as soon as possible. Another thing that we're really excited about is the scholarships that are available to our students. There is an assumption that scholarships are not open to undocumented students, and that's also not the case. While some may have a requirement of citizenship, At least the state scholarships offered at Cal State Long Beach do not require a social security number unless the scholarship is funded with federal funds, which last time I checked, it was only one. And we have hundreds of scholarships available at Cal State Long Beach in our Beach Scholarships website. Students can look at them now. They might not be able to apply just yet because they're not enrolled students, but at least they can see the list of scholarships that will be available once there are Beach students here. But again, if there's no citizenship requirement listed on that scholarship, which the majority of them don't, and if not all, they can always apply to the scholarship as long as they meet all the requirements if they're asking, because sometimes scholarships are based on major or year of schooling, but in regards to citizenship, that is not a requirement. Yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the California Dream Act Service Incentive Grant. This grant is a new grant. So I talked earlier about the California Dream Act being intended to only pay for tuition. And that is true. What I also wanted to add to that is that certain students also qualify for an additional grant depending if they are eligible for Cal Grant B, which I don't want to get too much into because I'm sure you'll have a session on financial aid and they can share a little bit more about that. But if your student or the student that's coming in has a Cal Grant B listed on their award, they're eligible for what we call the California Dream Act Service Incentive Grant. It is fairly new. But this year, it's our second year implementing this. It's a state initiative to allow students to get an additional grant, and all they have to do is volunteer 150 hours at an approved site. For example, Cal State Long Beach is an approved site, so they can volunteer at our center, they can volunteer in their college, they can volunteer in student government, in whichever area they wish within Cal State Long Beach. And as long as they complete 150 hours each semester, they get an additional $2,250 grant. This is a great opportunity for all our students. Again, immigration status is not a requirement. So or DACA status is not a requirement. So anyone can apply for this opportunity as long as they have a Cal Grant B listed on their financial aid. If the student is not sure if they qualify for Cal Grant B, they can always come to our office. Like I said, we work really closely with financial aid. So our role is basically to help students understand their financial aid. So if the student is not sure or they don't understand their financial aid, they can always come to us and make an appointment or come in, and we can make sure to assist them and let them know about this opportunity. And we can help them also if they're not sure where to do the hours. We have partnerships within the city of Long Beach and also here in the university that are more than willing to host a student to do their hours at their site. And again, it's not just in Long Beach. So let's say the student lives in LA, Orange County, there's tons of organizations listed on the site that they're able to do their hours at. Another additional funding that is available, which tends to be a last resort to our students, is the Dream Loan. It is a loan, and it's intended to support the student if they have any missing funds for housing or books or whatever they may need. They can ask for a loan for up to $2,000. They don't have to ask for the full amount. I have students who've asked for $250, for $500, sorry, depending on what they need to complete their tuition costs. But outside of that, they can choose, whatever amount they need. For a total of $4,000 per year. So that means that they can get, let's say in fall semester, they get asked for $2,000, and in spring they ask for $2,000, and then summer comes and they want another $2,000. Unfortunately, they won't be able to get another $2,000 because they match their cap. So it's only $4,000 per year. And They don't accrue interest while they're students, and they don't have to pay into 6 months after graduation. So, and the interest rate is at the same rate as any federal, not any, but the federal loans that are provided under FAFSA. They have the same interest. So they have the opportunity to at least focus in school and not have to worry about repaying it until 6 months after graduation. They do have to make an appointment with financial aid to see if they're eligible and if they're interested. So I highly encourage students to seek this opportunity if they feel like they're going to need it in order to be successful at Cal State Long Beach. I'm going to pause a little and see any questions that pertain to what I've said.
Yeah, we do have some questions. Do you want me to read them, Dr. Norma?
No, I think
Do you see them?
yeah.
Okay.
So someone asked, the scholarships that are not funded with federal money, are we able to get this for the whole time that I've been at CSB? Yes, when I have to get the renew or submit my info. So it depends on the scholarships. So a lot of if you apply to scholarships here at Cal State Long Beach, they may have some requirements, but a lot of times the money is available for the time that it's offered. So for instance, at Cal State Long Beach, we usually have 2 types of scholarships. Either you apply for a scholarship for just 1 semester, or a scholarship that is given to you over the course of 2 semesters. So for example, at our center, we have a scholarship called the Butterfly Peer Mentoring Scholarship. We give it to students who would like to so students who would like to mentor their peers, and that scholarship is split between 2 semesters. So you'll get 1220, I can do math right now, 1225 one semester and 1225 the second semester. And other scholarships, they'll be like, oh, here's a $1,000 scholarship, but you'll get all of it next fall, and then you don't have to worry about it after that. Fairly, I don't think there's any that are recurring, unless it is stipulated on there. There are some scholarships that are intended to support you all 4 years or all 2 years if you're a chance transfer. And if that is the case, a lot of times they come with stipulations. So for instance, some students may, there's a scholarship called the Dream.us that is no longer available for California students, but for example, they requested students needed to submit their transcripts every semester. They had to prove that they were enrolled in order to get it every year. So I would just say, if you get a scholarship, just check with the organization that is offering the scholarship. Don't just apply to scholarships here at Cal State Long Beach. Please seek out other scholarships. There's tons of money out there. As someone who personally benefited from scholarships, I'm telling you, apply. You don't know how many scholarship committees I've been in where only 10 people applied. And there is money out there. So never be scared, or never think like, oh, they're not going to pick me because maybe you're not going to get every single one you apply, but the more you apply, the more chances you get into getting accepted into a scholarship. And seek out support if you don't know how to apply for a scholarship. Like, we can always meet with you to talk more about that. We do scholarship workshops at our office as well to assist students with their application. So definitely seek out the support. For those who do get or are applying for the California Dream Act, it's important that you also are submitting your California non-resident tuition exemption. So in order to be considered a resident for tuition purposes, you have to prove that you have intention to stay in California, and that you have been in California for a year and a day, and that you also have an immigration status. So a lot of times students, you may have been living here all your life from the moment that you arrived, or maybe the past couple years, whichever is the case. Unfortunately, that is not enough to claim residency. You have to have some sort of immigration documentation to also claim residency. So don't worry, there is a tuition exemption. Many of you may have heard it called AB 540. And it's just when it first was initiated in 2001, that's what it was called, and it sort of has stuck. So the form itself, it's called the California non-resident tuition exemption request, and it's fairly easy to submit. Our office is available to support you. We recommend that you only submit it to the school that you're intended to go. So don't worry about it now. If you apply to multiple schools, I wouldn't send it to all the schools. I would just send it once you know for sure, like, okay, I'm going to Cal State Long Beach, send us your form and let us know, okay, here's my information. So it's fairly easy. All you have to do is click which requirement you have. So you have to prove that you went to 3 years of either K-12 or now, which is new, it just got expanded to include 3 years of community college. So as long as you prove you did 3 years of a mixture of K-12 and community college, or only 3 years of community college in California, or only 3 years of K-12 in California, as long as you have any of those in a graduation, so like either a high school graduation, a GED graduation certificate, or a associate's degree, then you're good to go. You're good to go with this non-resident tuition exemption. And again, our offices are available to assist you. We work really closely with residency here to ensure that you get the support that you need as you're submitting this. And if you don't submit this, your California Dream Act won't be released to you. So it's very important that this is completed before you come to campus in the fall. And you will need to provide, if I have any transfers in the call, you will need to provide your high school transcripts if you need to prove that a third year that includes high school. So K-12, any K-12 records, you'll need to provide proof of those. So unfortunately, outside of your official community college your community college transcripts, you also need your high school transcripts if you don't have 3 years of community college. If you do have 3 years of community college, then you're set. And yeah. If you have a scholarship that is recurring, somebody asked if they have a scholarship to keep it. Unless the organization told you that you can get it every year, then you'll have to work with the organization. Otherwise, if you want to get it again for the next couple of years, you should ask if the organization allows you to apply again, because some organizations don't. They'll say if you already got it, you can't apply again. But if there's no restrictions on that, then keep applying. Keep applying to the same scholarship. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. All right, we can go to the next slide. All right, I mentioned mental wellness. So here at the Dream Success Center, we understand that there's a lot of factors that you bring into your experience here as a student, right? You have your family, your relationships, what's happening in the classroom, the expectations of you. And sometimes you need someone to talk to. You need whether it be a professional or peers who align with what you're also experiencing. And because of this, like I mentioned before, we have a counselor within our counseling and psychological services office that provides one-on-one support. And the really cool thing is that they also come to our center and they give that one-on-one support here. So in case if you're like, I don't feel comfortable going to CAPS, I don't feel comfortable going to them, I don't really know them, but I know you, then you can always come to our center here when they're here. We can do the introduction, and I promise you, they're great folks. They're trained to support our students. And then outside of this, if you're like, I'm not ready for one-on-one, but I kind of want to go be in a group setting, perfect. We have those as well. We call them butterfly empowerment circles. And every time they meet, they talk about different issues, whether it be what's happening in the world, what's happening in the state, or what's happening at home. Whatever it is that you want to kind of talk to, you have a group of peers and a professional that kind of guides in that conversation. Outside of that, We partner with organizations within and outside of Cal State Long Beach to provide you stress management workshops to assist you with that. And we also, while we do all this academic, support, we also like to have fun. So we offer a number of social events. Like yesterday, our student club called For Undocumented Empower Leaders Fuel. They did a pumpkin carving event or a pumpkin painting event, and it was a lot of fun to just take a break and paint pumpkins in between midterms. So that was really nice of them to host that here at the center. Nice. And then, like I mentioned, for scholarships, I mentioned that we have the Butterfly Peer Mentoring Scholarship, so that it's offered to a student who is interested in mentoring peers and being a support system to their peers. And that will be opening in spring. We also have a very new initiative called the Dream Success Center Book Grant that offers $250 for books. And then outside of that, we support you in applying to any other opportunities that may assist you. One new one that we just announced is that now our students will be able to be resident assistants, so RAs. These are the student leaders that live on campus and help help support the development of other students who live on campus. And our students are really excited that they'll be able to apply for this leadership opportunity regardless of immigration status. And again, all this information is on our website that I think Cameron put on the chat. And then also and follow us on social media. We're there. We're very visible on Instagram. Any opportunity that I'm talking about today, you'll see it on our Instagram as well. Oh, this one kind of got cut off. It's okay. I'll tell you all about it. Like I said before, we have free immigration legal services, and we're just really excited that we get state funding to host immigration legal services events and also have legal providers at our space at all times. So we have two legal providers that have an office in our center that offer these immigration legal services to students, faculty, staff, recent alumni who have graduated in the last 2 years, and immediate family members. And again, like I mentioned before, immediate family members include parents, siblings, spouse, and children. So anything from general consultation, let's say you're like, I've never talked to a lawyer about my immigration case. Perfect. That's what we have our lawyers for. Or you have DACA, you need to renew. Our lawyers help you with the application. Let's say you are a U.S. citizen and you're petitioning for a family who's not. We assist you in those petitions and vice versa. Humanitarian relief, special immigrant juvenile status. Let's say you're finally at the point that you're applying for citizenship. We provide the naturalization support, and we also pay for your naturalization fee. So the $725 that you pay when you apply to be a U.S. citizen, we pay for that $725 when that time comes. And again, this is for you, for your family members, immediate family members, staff and faculty as well. So, and then we also have different clinics to invite you and your family members to come and utilize our resources. This is available for current enrolled students only. So I highly encourage you to come to Cal State Long Beach, and these services are available in all the CSUs, and the UC system also has this services, and then some community colleges as well. So wherever you end up, make sure to utilize the resources in that school. But hopefully we see you here. Yeah. And like I mentioned, oh, someone talked about the contact. Yeah, if you go to our website, yeah, we have a tab on immigration resources, and you can get the contact information for our guidance and partners there on how to make an appointment. And then for Butterfly Peer Mentoring Program, so we understand that when you start in a school, it could be daunting process, right? You don't know anyone, you don't know the resources that are available to you. You don't know how many seniors I've met that they're like, I wish I would have known you when I was a freshman. I had no idea that you were here. So we're hoping to spread the word as much as we can to ensure every student knows that we exist. So a way that we're supporting your experience as an incoming student is through our mentoring program. So we have a number of students that are returners that end up being mentors, and they guide you through your first semester here on campus. They link you up with resources. They help guide you with different questions that you have, and they sort of become your first point of contact in case you need anything. And I know many of you may have been in this virtual world for such a long time. So we're glad that we have individuals who can be that point of person and kind of get you back to meeting people and socializing in different ways. For example, our mentors are going to go tonight. We have an event called a Smorgasburg. I never know how to say it, but it's like a big fair. We're going to have rides and roller coasters and all kinds of stuff. And our mentors are taking their mentees to this event, and they'll have a chance to have fun and socialize and, you know, just meet other people so that it's, you know, it's not awkward. Because I know it's been, I know even for myself, I'm like, how do you talk to people now that we're not virtual? So hopefully our mentors can guide you as you are transitioning into coming back to school in person. And I mentioned before that we are very passionate about supporting students' professional development, regardless of whether they have TPS or DACA or different things. So one of the ways that we do that is through different internship opportunities. So for example, we have an opportunity called College Core, which some of you may have heard of Job Corps maybe. And unfortunately, Job Corps is not available for undocumented students. And I know many of our students had been, you know, wanting to be in some sort of opportunity like that. So the governor recently invested money so that different schools across California can be able to launch a program called College Core. Not every CSU has it. And we were very lucky to be one of the CSUs that got selected for the program. I don't know which other CSUs have it. I know Cal State Dominguez does, but outside of that, I don't know. So pardon me if you're wondering who has it, but here at Cal State Long Beach is a program that gives you a $10,000 living expenses stipend and an additional $3,000 educational stipend. It is a one-of-a-kind opportunity. It's never been done before, and it's available to our students regardless of immigration status. So if you're an incoming student, I will keep an eye on our social media for when we announce the applications for the next year to come. If you don't get selected to that, I highly encourage you to apply, because if you don't get selected to that, there's another program called Long Beach Internship Community Programs, which will pair you with the Long Beach internship opportunity here in Long Beach, and then you'll get an opportunity to get a stipend each semester for your volunteer experience at that site. So never hurts to apply, because you never know what you can get out of it. And then in addition, I talked about this DSIG, so I won't spend too much time on DSIG, is the Dream Act Service Incentive Grant. I won't spend too much time on that because I already talked about it. But again, if you have a Cal Grant B on your financial aid, please come and talk to us. We'll help you get started, and we'll link you up with the internship site. And then in addition, our lawyers in Carecen have a fellowship opportunity called the Legal Advocacy Fellowship. And this is intended for students who are interested in becoming a lawyer one day. We get a legal fellow to assist us with all of our legal programs and services and events. And again, we have our legal fellow for this year, but we'll be opening the application for next year soon. So keep an eye out for that call out as well. And then, like I said, we like to have a great time, and we also like to support you in different ways. So this is just a number of programs that are coming up, just so you get an idea of what we do. Not only do we provide services to students, but also to the community. You may be wondering, like, oh, well, my professors know how to support me. Will staff know how to support me? We offer a training that we lead for staff and faculty across campus to teach them the skills needed to successfully support you. they get the resources so that you don't have to out yourself and say, hey, I'm undocumented and this is why I need further support. Like, we teach them on how to, you know, provide services without having you say that you're undocumented or that your family is undocumented. So hopefully we are supporting you in that endeavor, in that way, so that you feel the support not only in our space but also all across campus. And we're really excited because we've had hundreds of staff and faculty who have gone through our program, and we are very happy to have that community of support all across campus. We are having our I Stand With Immigrants event next week, where we're going to have different campus services come and table and show how they stand with immigrants. We're going to be giving out free t-shirts, have music and activities. Again, it's for students, and I know we invited a couple community colleges to come. So if you're a community college student and you happen to be free, you're welcome to come. If you're a high school student, don't miss class. There'll be other opportunities for you to get involved. And then we have specialized gatherings for students based on things that they're interested. For example, we have a meeting coming up for graduate students. We have students who are interested in medical school. So we're going to start a medical school cohort of students interested in medical school. And we're actually bringing a speaker in the next coming weeks that's going to share her experience in applying for medical school, and how students with or without DACA or TPS can pursue medical school. And that's it. Well, we have a lot of resources. I know I've said a lot, and I know that you may have more questions of things that we may have not shared. I didn't want to overwhelm you with a lot of research. I kind of wanted to give you enough to kind of let you know what we have. But if you have any specific questions, like Cameron mentioned, please contact us so that we don't have to talk about your individual situation right now. But if you have general questions, please, put in the chat box, and I'll be here to answer anything. And you can always email me to set up a meeting. You can email my coordinator as well to set up a meeting. Add us on Instagram, and we hope we get to see you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Norma. What an amazing program this is, first of all. This is so interesting to learn all about, and thank you so much for presenting on it. And so just as a reminder, guys, if you have any questions that you still have for Dr. Norma, you can ask them now in the Q&A chat. And we actually did get some questions from the Facebook Live. So one of the questions we did get, Dr. Norma, was asking, are you guys hiring right now?
Yes. We are going to be hiring. We're not hiring this semester, but we're going to be hiring in spring of next semester. So if you're looking for a job, email us and let us know. We're very lucky in the sense that we have opportunities for students to work here at the center. So please reach out. Yes. Oh, well, you have to be a current student. You have to be a current student to work with us. But if you're for instance, if you're at community college and you have the Cal Grant B and you have DSIG, you can always volunteer at our office or different things like that. But outside of that, you have to be a current student.
Thank you. Thank you. And then we had another question relating to what you were talking kind of about in the beginning of the presentation. So you guys actually provide services for people outside of Cal State Long Beach as well?
As long as they have a connection to a student, staff, or faculty on campus. So let's say that you decide to go to Cerritos College, but your sibling comes to Cal State Long Beach. We can definitely assist you in your legal matters. So you don't even have to be a student. Let's say you're not a student, you're here on this call, and you have a sibling or a child that comes to Cal State Long Beach, we can support you with immigration resources. But outside of immigration resources, you don't have to be a student. Like if you just have a general question, we're not going to turn you away. We can support you. Even if you decide not to come to Cal State Long Beach, we are very well connected with schools all across the state of California, and I'll be more than happy to connect you to someone that you can trust at the school that you decide to go to.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. It looks like we just got another question. Okay, so somebody just asked, what building can we meet you in?
We are in the Student Success. Oh, I noticed it's not here. SSC is the Student Success Center building. It is right across from the bookstore. If you go on the maps, we have a very interactive map in our website, in our Cal State Long Beach website. And if you just see, I think it's called Shakarian Student Success Center, Shakarian Student Success Center. We're on the second floor, right next to Trio. So it'll be EOP, Trio Services, and the Dream Success Center. And we're right there on the second floor. If you can't find us, don't worry, call us. Let's say you come to campus, you're here, you can call us at this number and we can walk you through how to get here. I know it could get very confusing. Our campus is huge.
Yeah. And then I feel like it's a newer building, so it does tend to stick out a little bit more.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, we did just get a question from the Facebook as well, asking about that incentive grant you were talking about. They were asking, can those volunteer hours be completed like whenever, like on the weekend as well?
Correct. Yeah, as long as
Okay.
you have you decide that with your organization, and you can pick your own hours. I have students who've done it in the weekends, in the evenings, during the day. It depends on the site that you're doing it at. So if you could only volunteer evenings and weekends, then we'll have to be strategic on which organizations. Cal State Long Beach, there might be very few departments that have projects for those hours, but I'm sure you can always find something. So come to us and we'll help you.
Cool. Thank you so much. So if anybody has any other questions, please feel free to reach out. We have their contact information up here now if you want to take that down. But thank you for answering all those questions. It looks like that's all the questions that we have from today. And once again, here's their contact information. Let's see. And then if you didn't have any questions that were related to the Dream Success Center, you can also contact us here over at New Student and Family Programs. We're in Brotman Hall. And anything related to school, academics, you can reach out to us and we can help you find the right resource. We also recommend that you join our Beach Family Portal. We host online orientation programs, such as the one we're hosting right now. We have tours and ongoing events. We put out personalized newsletters, campus news, announcements, and deadlines, and we can help you connect with other CSULB family members. So it's a great resource to have as well. And finally, stay connected to us here at the beach. You can contact our parent and family offices at the contact here. If you have any questions, again, maybe outside of the Dream Success Center that you need help with getting answered. And finally, we want to make sure that we're disseminating information to you most effectively, and we want to make sure that we're really getting you the answers to the questions that you have. So we ask that you please fill out our evaluation link. I just sent it into the chat. You can also click on the screen here to fill it out. We really appreciate you attending, and thank you for filling out our evaluations. We find the feedback super helpful. And then finally, Dr. Norma, thank you so much for joining us today. Is there anything else you want to leave the audience with?
Outside of follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Stay in touch, and I really hope we get to connect. So come to our office, check us out, and we hope we can support you in some way.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Norma. This was super informative, super helpful, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Have a happy Halloween.